Hello, I am Shahid, AAT certified accountant, and today's our lecture is in a series of personal tax. And now today we are going to look the real life scenario from AAT website. So actually, it's related to a tax help, and it is a very important to understand the concepts. So let's see what this scenario is about. A volunteer tax help, a small local charity that provides tax advice to local people. So tax help provides the services to help stimulate the local economy and contribute to the economic regeneration of the local area. Um, Kane. So Kane is responsible for giving income tax advice to individuals who are employees. Income from employment includes salaries, wages, commission, bonuses, and benefit in kinds. Kane's aim is to help Rebecca to understand the income tax implications of each of the three alternative remuneration packages she has been offered at a new company. Kane is also keen to help Rebecca to understand the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Rebecca. Rebecca has recently been offered a job at Boros Limited, a large local marketing company. She is 28-year-old and has been offered three remuneration packages, but she is unsure to which offer to accept. So Rebecca has provided details of the three alternative remuneration packages and is keen to maximize her income, but to minimize her tax liability. So this is our objective to do today. Rebecca has arranged to meet Kane to discuss the income tax implications of the three alternatives. So let's look the three alternative packages that has been offered to Rebecca. So so here you can see on the screen there are three different packages. One is option 1, 2, and option 3. So option 1, if you look, the salary is offering is 60,000, and option number 2 40,000, and option 3 is 31,200. So we have to decide which option she has to select. And she has also been provided with living accommodation, van, car parking space, removal expenses, car, mobile telephone, and loan of a computer. So we have to look all these options and we have to decide which option is best for Rebecca. So it is not an easy question. So this question is all about all of your concepts related to your income tax and benefit in kinds. So if we look without solving, if we look simply here, the option 1 is she will get 70,400. Option 2, she will get 67,100, and option 3, 69,000. So if from first look, it looks like that option 1 is best, and then option 3, and then option number 2. So, but this is not the case because there are some things, some benefits are taxable and some are not. So we have to do a tax planning, and let's do this one. So first one, I have did this one in Excel sheet. So first option, we will look. So in first option, Rebecca has been offered a 60,000 pound salary. So this figure I have simply copied from here, 60,000 into a option number 1, 60,000 pound. And if we go back, living accommodation, there is no living accommodation in option number 1, and then is a van. So van is 4,500. So because van is a benefit in kind, and the van she will use for private and business use. So if it is just for a business use, then there is no benefit in kind. But for our case study, she will use for business and private use. So there will be a benefit in kind. So, so what will be the benefit in kind? We have to look the van rules. So van rules, the HMRC has provided on their website. So we have to go to the HMRC website for the van rules to look there. Yeah, just a minute. So here, if you can see, there are van rules. So let me share a screen with you. Yeah. So, no. So just a minute. Okay, so here, if you can see, you will need to report a standard value of 3,600 pound to HMRC. Yeah. So there are different conditions. So this can be reduced if the van is not available for 30 days in a row. Your employees paid you privately use the van. Other employees use the van. Yeah. So in our case, we need to use this figure 3,600. So we will come back to our Excel sheet. So what we need to do is in option number one, we will write it here, van 3,600. And now if we look the um, if we look now, our case study now. So the next option is car parking. So car parking is exempt. It is there is no tax on this one. Car parking if provided by an employer. So we don't need to include. Removal expenses up to 8,000 pound are exempt. So because the removal expenses are less than 7,000, less than 8,000, we don't need to do anything. The next one is car list. There is no car in option number one and provision of one mobile phone. So one mobile phone is exempt. So there is no tax on one mobile phone and there is no laptop in option number one. So in our option number one, there is only one is salary and the other is van. So the total income is 63,600 and the personal allowance is 12,570. So if you look this same example on AAT, you will find this personal allowance differently because the AAT is using the old personal allowance, but I am using the latest figures. So similarly for van, if you look on the AAT website, you will find the old figure, but this figure I just taken from the latest figure from the HMRC website. So the total taxable income after deducting personal allowance from total income is 51,030 pounds. And this one is a high rate, yeah, because she is a high rate earner. So first 37,700 we need to tax at 20, and the remaining 13,330 pound we need to tax at 40%. So the total tax she has to pay is 12,872 pound. So if we divide 12,872 divide by 51,030, so the total she has to pay is about 25%. Yeah, so here 25%, and her take home income will be 38,158. So now let's look at the option number two now. So in option number two, Rebecca got 40,000 pound salary. Living accommodation is 10,000 pound. So let's solve this one now. So option number two is salary is 40,000 and the accommodation is annual value is 10,000. So I have make a table here. So option number two, annual value is 10,000 pound. And there is a note on the case study. The living accommodation cost Barrows Limited 400,000 when it was acquired in 2020. We already know that when the if you have seen the previous lecture about the accommodation, so you know that when the employer owns the property, there is an additional benefit in kind we have to calculate. So please go through my previous lecture on living accommodation to find out how to calculate this value. Yeah. So because in this case, Borrow Limited is an owner of a property, so there will be two benefiting kinds. One is annual value, And the next one, what we have to do is know the cost is 400,000 minus 75,000, because the property is more than 475,000, and we need to multiply by the official rate of interest that the AAT has given 2.25%. So it should be equal to 1 minute. 400,000. So multiplied by official rate of interest 2.25% is equal to 7,312 pound and 50 pence. Yeah. So this one is an additional benefit. So the total benefit will be, so 10,000 plus 7,312 pound 50 is 17,312 pound 50. So this figure we need to enter it here. Yeah, the accommodation 17,312 pound and 50 pence. And now if there is no van, option 2, there is no car park. So if even if there was a car park, it is an exempt. So removal expenses, again, we know less than 8,000 are exempt. We don't need to add for tax purposes. Car, yes, we need to calculate the car now. So for car, the list price is 10,000 pound, and they have told us in a question that it is a 32% CO2 level. So 10,000 multiplied by 32% is equal to 10,000 multiplied by 32% is equal to 3,200. So the total income is 60,512 pound and 50 pence. So we need to minus the personal allowance, and the total taxable income is 47,942 pound and 50 pence. So first 37,700 is 20%, and the remaining is 40%. So the total tax she needs to pay is 11,637, and if we divide 11,637 by 47,942.50, it is equal to 24%, and the total take home pay is 36,305 pound and 50 pence. Let's look the option number 3 now. Option number 3 is 31,200 is the salary, so we will put it here, and the accommodation we have to calculate now. So the accommodation option for option number 3 is cost is 150,000. Yeah. So what we have to do is 150,000 minus 75,000 multiplied by 2.25% is equal to 1687.5. And if we add these two figures, so the total is 687.50. But hold on here, and they said that an expansion was completed, so 20,000. So we need to add 20,000 as well here. So the figure will be 170. Then 150 plus 20, 170. So the total accommodation benefit will be 17137.50. So this figure we will put here now. 17137.50. There is no van in option 3, no car parking. Car parking is exempt even if it was there, and removal expenses are exempt, less than 8,000. Car. So car is 15,000, and they have given here the CO2 level 19%. So 15,000 multiplied by 19%. So 15,000 multiplied by 19% is 2,850. So the total income, and no, the next thing is lab mobile. Mobile is exempt, one mobile, and loan to a computer, 700 pound. So this one now we have to look. This 700 pound. so is an asset. So rules for assets are generally asset loans to employee are taxed at 20% of their market value. But if exempt, if it is used for business purpose. However, the HMRC says the status of computer equipment depends on the extent of private use by the employee. If the private use is not significant, then should be disregarded. So in our case, the use of laptop is insignificant. Yeah. So we will ignore, we don't calculate the taxable benefit on this one. So the total will be 51,187.50 minus 50 minus personal allowance. The taxable income is 38,617.50. Rebecca is a high rate earner, and first 37,700 pound is 20%, and the remaining 917 pound 50 pence is 367, and the total tax she needs to pay is 7,907 pound. So if we divide 7,907 divided by 38,617.50, so it is equal to 20% tax. So now we have to see which option is a best option. So if we see the option number 1 was giving effective rate of income tax was 25%. So we will write here 25%. Option number 2 was giving 24%. And option number 3 was 20%. So now you have to tell me which option is best. Yeah, option number 3 is best because she has to pay less tax with option number 3. And the option number 3 is, if you look, the total salary including benefit 69,000 and here 70,400. So Rebecca should have to go for option number 3. So this is the end of our lecture today. And if you have any question, then you can put your question in comments. I will try my best to reply you. And if you need any help in your studies or anything, just let me know. And please like this channel and subscribe it and share with your friends. Thank you so much.